Morning, morning. Hello, hello. Right. Let's see. Okay. Artings first, then we'll move on to other things. Link, if you are here, Link, thank you very much for the Prime. Thank you very kindly for the Prime. Although now I have a sneaking suspicion that you have a camera in my room, because that showed up about 10 seconds after I opened OBS. So I was like, how do you know? How do you know my OBS is open to see such a thing? But there we are. There we are. But yes, thank you very much for the Prime. It's much appreciated. And Yana, good morning. Johnny, good morning, Johnny. How you doing? Oi, oi, you big stinker. I've had a shower today and everything. Washed my hair fresh. Fresh for the stream. I'm not a stinker. Move that over there. So, for anyone who hasn't been here previously, plan is we do some artwork in the morning and we'll do some gaming in the afternoon. Which, unsurprisingly, gaming will be Dune, just in case there's any ambiguity there. But I doubt there is. Thumbs, morning thumbs. Morning, morning. Johnny, yeah, but you failed to consider that you have infused my water with garlic. You're right, I had not considered that. I hadn't considered that at all. So, touche. Touche, you have won this round. Toxic, morning, how you doing? How's it going? Right, let's grab that. No, oh, I do this every time. Do you know, I need to move these two round. I feel like my entire streaming life is about me needing to move things to other places so that I don't accidentally click on them. Like, it happens, for anyone who is in any doubt, like, of it happening in games, it happens outside of games as well. There we are. Yeah. The category is still Dune. Is it? Well, that's not what it's meant to be. Right. Thank you. Thank you. Let's get that shifted. Except that apparently I can't spell art. It's 3 letters. How could I not spell it properly? What a twerp. There we go. Right, that should change over in a sec. And apparently changing category causes me to drop a bunch of frames. That makes no sense. Right. At least we know Squire's not a vampire. Well, or I just, you know, I was just there the whole time going, it is a good pain. Good pain. To have some rat, I mean tar, I mean art. Do you know what the worst bit was, Thumbs? It was none of those. It wasn't even like I just mixed up the letters. I added a whole extra letter in, because that makes perfect sense. Doesn't it? Yes. Yes, it does. I added an F in. I don't even... How did I even do that? Oh, it must have been when I went for the R. That right there is just... It's a good example of how I can't do these things properly. Now, I have some grave news, which we'll have to see how this continues through the day. But all those lovely stats that have been showing up on YouTube, we've lost some. Not a lot, but I did actually say, I said last week, I was like, what the hell do I do if this is all bots? And it has cut out some of them, but fortunately not a lot. Like, you know, we've still got over 1 million, but it has cut some of them back. So I'll have to see what happens for the next couple of days because it's still sorting through them all. All right, let's. How do I do that? But a lot of them are still trickling in. Mech Strong, good morning. Make sure you had an alarm set up last night, but you didn't have to go to work. That threw you off completely. Oh no. I woke up really late this morning. I did not do well in the whole waking up in a reasonable time at all. I got up at like... I kind of did... I had the alarms, because I have alarms every morning, and then I just kind of like rolled over for a bit, thinking I was going to roll over 5 minutes. Nah. Woke up at 20 past 8 and went, oh shit. And yes, Johnny, you did. Yeah, it was F. I just... Yeah, just... Me, my hands. Just complete mess. It was far. It wasn't even a word, thumbs. It was ARFT. Aft. ARFT. Yana, yes, evening. You wanted to have a look at the 2 water cooler books you loaned from the library, but you fell asleep. Oh, well, I mean, sleep. If you fell asleep without intending to, then you must have needed it. Johnny a Million. Yes, yeah. The bunch of shorts are doing very well. They're doing very, very well. At least they are right now. We'll have to see. Waiting for these analytics, you know, takes so long. It takes so long to wait for the analytics. I'm like, I need them now. The analytics are up to the 19th so far. So I think by Thursday, everything that went crazy should have come in. In fact, I'm curious. So essentially, it knocked off about 30,000 views. I don't know where they've been taken away from though. It's a bit too tricksy to track down. Yeah, I don't know where they've been taken away from. Anyway. And then, yeah, one of your shorts is rather blow up. Do you blow up your shorts? And then, yes, thumbs, yes. Yes, yes. Farting shorts. Hilarious. Yeah, still exciting. Still exciting. But I am curious to... I did say this last week, and Dan was sure they wouldn't be bots. The majority of them are not, though, so that's cool. I've also tested multi-chat. So multi-chat is definitely working today, so hopefully that we won't have an incident like yesterday where someone was trying to talk and I just didn't see them. Yeah. Anyway. Whole coffee to get through because I just didn't have time this morning. I didn't even have breakfast. That's alright though. I'm not exactly short a few calories. No double meaning there. Just got a dirty bide. Terrible. Gaslighting after all, there's plenty of gas to go around. Terrible. 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 Appalling. Okay. So... this dude, I'm doing this again. This dude is overly complicated. He does not need to be this complicated. I just think I need to narrow him as well. I think I've made him a bit too chonky. He's a bit too chonky. But it's probably going to be a pain in the bum to try and switch it. But we'll try. Or not, because we'll press the wrong buttons. Quick group. That is going to be a pain because he's at an angle. What if I... yeah, because that's going to do that. That's going to do that. I wonder if... no, because if I do that, just in it... oh, that's going to make it all pixely though, isn't it? Okay. Okay. I might just have to accept it's pixely. Yeah. So let's... do you like that? Put you like that. Then if I go back to you, yeah, you still think you're like that. But what if I grab that? Oh no, it's gonna look horrible. Yeah, can you change your requests? Yeah. Yeah. Go there. Need to store. Body goes into fuel save mode. It tries to store everything as fat when you're having your porridge. Yeah. Oh yeah, and skipping meals. Yeah, no, I know. It's not great. It's not great. I just did it because I didn't have time. That's all. Oh, it's so horrible. It's so horrible and pixely. Yeah. Shit. Out. Spilled the coffee everywhere. It's alright, phone. The phone needed a caffeine injection, needed to wake up. One sec, guys. One sec. think we're alright. I think we're okay. Considering how much coffee apparently just went across the desk, there was still quite a lot in the mug. But not anymore. That's how we stop things spilling. If we put them inside our bodies, they can't be spilt. Unless you put too much in your bodies, then they spill really badly. Anyway, right, I'm back now. Sorry about that. The shirt, oh, it's just a Wayland Yutani one. Just from the Alien universe. Why does this feel really low? I can't get that there. Enjoy your lurkings, thumbs. What do I endorse consuming oil? No. Not in... If you consume oil... If you consume anything in quantities that is harmful... is detrimental to your body, I'm not going to actively encourage that. There we go. I think that covers me. Working, why are you not working? There we go. Disappeared. Has it? Oh, I don't know if it has. Morning, Lord Elston. How you doing? Wait, what's going on? Why are you not playing? Hello? Oh. Oh, wait, what's happened there? Hmm. What's wrong with you? Hello, Mextron. One second. Not sure why the music has left me. Give me... local files. For some reason it's just hit a bunch of songs that apparently don't exist in my library anymore, but I can see them. I can see them right in front of me. Add them to... Yes. Okay. Oh, what a pain in the bum. What a pain in the bum. Wait, no, we can do that like that. Hang on. Yeah, okay. And add to you. Okay. Are you going to play now? Maybe. Maybe. Okay. Keep an eye on that. Again? Why? What is wrong with this playlist? What is wrong with this playlist? Okay. Let's let's do what if we do what happened again? The playlist just keeps stopping. I'm gonna. This is just something to do with the one that's like. What's weird is I'm playing it from my PC, so it's not even like it's just like the internet's cutting out or something. I'm playing it from my PC. I'll try one that's on the internet. And see how that lasts. Very strange though. It was just stopping after a single song, and I've used I've used that thing a whole bunch of times. So I don't know why it's being weird today. At the end of this track. Oh, okay. Carry on with that. What else? You got a minute. You're meeting in 4 minutes. Well, probably less than that now. You intend to treat it as if if you too am a famous streamer, and other people in the meeting are chat. Sure. Yep. Yep. See if you can get them to subscribe. Do you want that promotion? Subscribe to this meeting. Subscribe to this meeting, and instead of attending, you get access to it in an email. Do you know what? You could probably make a fortune doing that. How is the company's profits up so high, Mr. Ilston? Well, I've got all the employees to start paying for their meetings. What? What? Yeah, no. I got them all to start paying for their meetings. Now they get them in email format if they subscribe to me. And I've just funneled that money back into the company. The company hasn't been profitable in years. Yep, now it is. Well, that's glorious, Lord Ilston. Now you get to meet Greta in person. Dear diary moment. Dear diary moment. Matty, good morning, Matty. How are you doing? Software are you using to draw? Krita. Krita. Krita is free. So that's a delight. And for free software, it's pretty good. It does the vast majority of what I want it to do. That's not right, is it? That's a bit wrong. Give me that. give me that. And give me that. Hello, Axa. How are you doing? Wholesome Degenerate. Hello, welcome in. Hello, hello. The art's looking great, thank you. I just need to get it finished. I need to get this finished. As part of Dune in June. This must be finished within, well, a week. So there's still loads of time. But I would like it to be finished way before that. Because I am ready to move on to other things. It was the right call to warp this a bit. Because it was too short and stocky. But all of this is too pixely for what I wanted to be. Maybe I just accept that. Sorry. I think I said this yesterday. I'm just getting loads of pings. Getting loads of pings on YouTube. So many people are angry at my shorts. I feel like my phone knows, though. I feel like my phone rarely gives me a notification for like the happy comments. I feel like my phone knows which are the angry ones, because I don't tend to get notifications when the happy ones come through. Bring that down a bit. Generate. It's a big piece. Didn't realize it. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, that little ornithopter is only a small piece, a small part of the whole thing. Yeah. So I started this last month. I think I started it in May. Yeah, I started this at the beginning of May, and there's still a whole bunch of bits. I want to get this, so I'm going to get this little ornithopter finished. Then I want to get this. So the plan is to get this little ornithopter finished, which is that's nearly there with how small it is. Then I want to put a little bit of detail on that base, just so it looks like something. I do actually need to do a little bit of finishing off on this guy, because like his mask isn't finished right now. All this desert that's at the back, I need to put some more detail on that. I'm probably going to put a sandstorm in, just to try and clear that up a bit. And then I think I'm leaving this clear, because it's just the sky, and unless I put the guild ship up, like I could put. The problem is the guild ship, when you're in game, faces that way. So if I put the guild ship in, it'd be, look at that for top quality. It'd be like that up there, but then we've already got kind of like the worm. We've got the worm over here. I almost feel like maybe if I do, I suppose I can do it however where I want, really, can't I? I could change the guild ship to that direction. That could be an option. Yeah, and then I need to make a decision which, based on how much based on how much time I've got left before I want to move on from this, there was going to be, except I've lost it, there was going to be a second character. But saying that, the videos that were going to go with that never really materialised, so I might just leave it as a single character. I might just leave it as a single one. Yeah. At the moment, the focus is just getting this little dude finished up. At least enough, because I don't think people will really zoom into this, so this is over detailed for how much people won't zoom into it. So let's just try and get this done, shall we? And Sky helps accentuate the points of interest. Possibly. I mean, that's why I've not really, like, delved too... I mean, the thing is, one of the other things I was thinking about doing was just, like, having... Because at one point I was planning on using this as a thumbnail on YouTube. And I could have had whatever the video was about in that space. So I'm not married to putting anything in it. It's just, it's very obvious that it's a big open space. I'll see how I feel. It's like, but it's like kind of like one of the last things. If I'm going to do anything with it, it'll be right at the end. I'm not desperate to get anything done with it right now. I might just leave it like that. That might be it. Might be it. I think I'm okay with leaving that like that. Right. So now I need to remember. Hang on. So that is called a salt orney. So I can remember what that layer is all about. What's this layer about? This is apparently a spare layer, so let's get rid of that. This is the scout orney. Or not. Scout orney. Oh, at the base. Alright. Hello, Doc, how are you doing? Okay. Switch that. Switch that to that. We got a bit more definition. Actually, that should probably be like that. Doing alright, Doc? Good, good. Good, good. I was watching an update on, you know, the the latest news about Dune, with them talking about how they're going to change the way the deep desert works, and now more of it's going to be PvE. I'll be curious to see what it's like once they change it. I understand why they're changing it. Like, I understand the reasoning, they need more, they need more people using the area, and I presume they have checked stats, and there is more PvE players than PvP. So I think I get it. I just, I didn't really mind, even though I'm not really a PvP player, I didn't really mind the, deep desert. I thought it was a bit of a thrill kind of thing, so I didn't entirely mind them switching it. And if it makes things more active, then I suppose that's a good thing. I don't know if it's going to address the auction house, though. The auction house is still a bit of an issue, but now that people can access the stuff that they want, it feels like the auction house is going to get used even less. Did you finally see the well, the thing is that I don't know if I've seen all the changes, Doc, because I've only seen them talking about like making the deep desert more PvE friendly. So I don't know if I've got. I still don't know if I've actually got round to seeing what else is changing. Though from what I did see, it looks like the whole thing about making the Scout Ornithopter when it's got a cargo container in it, that seems to possibly have just been some players. That might have just been a rumour mill, I think, because from what I saw, they seem to imply just that the Scout Orny with the rocket launcher is going to be slower, I think. Pork over on YouTube, hello. You like this type of vid? Well, we're going to be doing this for probably another hour and a half. So yeah, if you find this soothing, we'll be around for a little bit more time. Mextron, did they say they were going to keep the resources way down in the PvE? I think, from what I was reading them saying, I think what's going to happen is you're probably going to see maybe a third to a half of the deep desert become PvE territory. And I think in that PvE territory, you'll be able to find the... this is not them confirming, this is me just based on what kind of extrapolating based on what they said. I think what you'll find in that bit of DVD, in that part of deep desert that is PvE, I think what you'll find is probably, when you come across the small islands that have maybe got like 4 nodes and 2 of them are Stravidium and 2 of them are Plastanium. I think that's the kind of stuff you'll find in the PvE, because they did say they want the PvE side of the deep desert to continue being high risk, high reward. So I reckon what I'm anticipating is like when we try and travel to the islands that are just like the entire island is nodes of titanium, I think those ones will still be in the PvP side of the deep desert. So essentially, you can go in PvE in the deep desert, but it'll be quite slow, I think. And I think they're going to put at least one of the labs. I think at least one of the labs will be in the PvE zone, which I have to see if that works, because if there's a lab in the PvE zone and there's only one of them, that could mean there's a lot of people trying to run that lab. Which might mean there's never any loot in it. Although, actually, wait, no, if it's flagged as PvE, that won't matter. It's only PvP that you can loot once, isn't it? So that actually might not be a problem. The problem I was just thinking of. Ignore that. And I wonder if they'll keep the ring mounts in the PvP zone. Milka, hello, welcome in. Mextron, you've only been in Deep Desert once. You saw 5 people in line. I can understand that. I can understand how... I totally understand people not loving the idea of PvP. And I was saying before, kind of like, I get that they need to fix stuff to ensure that players keep playing. I mean, I've said in the past that for Dune Awakening, like, I've seen a lot of people complaining about the content running out and kind of saying the game's trash. And I've said in the past, I'm reserving judgment to see what's coming in the season passes. However, I saw someone commenting yesterday, and I don't know how accurate it is. I saw someone commenting yesterday that the first season pass won't be for at least 3 months, maybe 4. If that's the case, the game's not gonna last long enough to wait for the first season pass. So, you know, like most people that I've seen playing the game are very close to, like, it seems to be pretty consistent that you finish the content within within about 200 hours. Now, 200 hours is a lot of hours. Don't get me wrong. 200 hours is a shed load of time. But there are a lot of people who have been super enjoying that game and are hitting 200 hours and kind of like being going, right, that's it. I've completed the game now. So yeah, we'll see. But I feel like they might, if they were planning on releasing the content update in. Oh, this is not working because I'm on the wrong brush. I was like, why is this not painting in? I'm not on the right brush. If they're not planning on releasing the season update for that long, I think they might need to bring that forward, because I don't think there'll be anyone around to play it when it comes out if they wait that long. Milka, so bad at drawing structures. Me too. Me too. I hate drawing structures. I spent so long trying to, like, the whole reason this side of this image is the way it is because I think I spent at least one stream, if not two, trying to draw a base here, and I don't know if it's still here. I don't know where I've put it, but there was a lot of iterations of me trying to draw a base in this corner, and I couldn't get the perspective right. I couldn't get anything right. So instead, I'm trying to do a much smaller, simpler structure. The only thing I could even get close to in recommending as a tip for drawing structures is practicing perspective, which I need to do a lot more of. So I kind of know what I need to do. I just haven't done it. And like practicing perspective and practicing shapes, because buildings generally are just a whole bunch of like squares and rectangles and cubes. But yeah, it's almost like anything in drawing. It's just kind of just practicing as much as possible. Doc, they tried it in the first run of the beta servers. They had one lab that was PvE and personal loot. Still think this is due the thoughts on. I made comments about the deep desert last week. I think one of the problems, like in terms of, this was to do with like the personal economy. This was to do with the in-game economy and kind of deep desert. I think there is that, like, deep desert. I think one of the ways they need to address deep desert is to, I think they need to strip out every resource that is not, or cut down, or either massively cut down or strip out every resource that is not a deep desert specific resource. If you want to give PvE players more purpose, I would have been inclined to go down that route first. Like, there shouldn't be any copper, there shouldn't be any aluminium, there shouldn't be any of the low-level loot in the crash ships. So that if someone wants to PvP, they need PvE players to be supplying the gear. And I think that would have also helped to encourage the auction house in its usage, because PvE players could have been putting stuff on there, and then that might have encouraged PvP players to put their loot, because they need more Solari to buy the PvE stuff. I think that would have been kind of the direction I potentially would have gone in first, but this is the direction they've gone in, so we'll see if it works. So detail, yeah. I mean, this has taken a while. This has taken a while. But yeah, it's mostly coming along how I want. I'm planning on putting a bit of a sandstorm across the desert, and I'm hoping that makes the worm feel a bit more part of the desert, because at the moment the worm for me feels a little bit too much just kind of sat on top of everything. So I think if I put a bit of a sandstorm going across this desert, hopefully they'll feel a bit more part of what's going on. And I will get to that once I've figured out this building. And hopefully this structure doesn't break me. As it has done before. But yeah, just coming back to the deep desert thing, because that's obviously quite a big update to the whole thing at the moment. I suppose one of the things I would say about the changes to the deep desert is they have kind of always maintained that it's not primarily a PvP game. So this change kind of sticks with that. Sure there'll be, and I think as well what I have noticed with PvP is a lot of the stuff I'm seeing about PvP players in the game aren't really, they don't really seem to almost be like people who want, like, the game seems to be attracting. And I'm sure there are, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are proper PvPers in the game. But it does seem to be attracting more people who are more interested in griefing over PvPing. And those are not necessarily... it's a really tough balance between those kind of things, because PvP mechanics allow for griefing. But it does see, it's a bit like when the guys we saw in that chat when we were in deep desert. The guys we saw in that conversation were like, "Hey, yeah, let's have a bit of a ceasefire so we can all just go and harvest resources." And then we saw this chat going back and forth about, "Yeah, let's have an alliance." And then 5 minutes later, they apparently met up somewhere, and immediately one of them was like, "Ha ha ha! I'm shooting you! I'm shooting you!" And the other guy was like, "But we were going to be doing a ceasefire. We were going to agree to a ceasefire so that we didn't end up killing each other." And the other person was like, "Ha ha ha ha! I'm killing you." And like, that's kind of, it's funny for a moment. There is I can see a level of humor to that. But then I saw that same player doing that to other people, and it's kind of like, okay, so that's all you really care about. Just screwing people over by lying to them, which, if that's all you're about, is not really great. But anyway, yeah. At the end of the day, we'll just have to see what happens, won't we? We'll have to see when they implement the changes. Do the changes work or not? You have to remake a cube in DB. Oh, is it reset? Cool, cool. Cool, cool. Um, Milka, do you share any drawings on any platforms? I don't have that many drawings. I don't have that many drawings to really share. But the only place that I currently share stuff is over on Critter. Not Critter. Critter is the software that I'm using to make drawings. The only place that I really share anything is over on Ko-fi. If I was more organized, I'd probably share in some more locations. But when it comes to this kind of thing, I have the memory of a sieve. But yeah, in terms of where is it? There we go. There you go. There's a few bits over there. But I'd say there's not a lot over there. There's some bits that I did for people who wanted some of their Dungeons and Dragons characters, and then there's a whole bunch of like cartoony gnomes, which is for a whole other project that one day I might actually get back to. I don't know when I'll get back to that project, but at some point I would like to. Oh, whoops. But yeah, the gnomes. The gnomes that are over on the Ko-fi gallery, they relate to a fantasy world that I started putting together. The fantasy world, at some point, I do want to do some less cartoony looking stuff for the fantasy world. I would like to do that. I just don't know when I'm going to get to doing that. I don't like that. It needs to be over there more. Doc, I don't know if you're still here. I did see some of the AMA stuff about the deep desert, not deep desert, about the future for Dune Awakening, and it was I saw a lot of people like tearing into the fact that a lot of their initial PVE plan was for it all just to be about the Landsrat. And I think we've talked before about the Landsrat not being not it's not great. It's not great, especially if that's all you have for endgame. So I suppose that's good that they've recognised that that's not good enough for endgame. Because that was kind of silly. This ramp is kind of coming together, though. I don't like this line. I might smudge this line out a bit. Kind of have it there just for a little bit of texture, but I think I've done it at the wrong angle. So let's just smudge it out a bit so you can barely see it, so that when you zoomed out, you got no clue that it's at the wrong angle. And you guys all know because you were here, but just don't tell anyone. It's just a little secret, little happy accident. So yeah, I kind of have mixed feelings on the changes they made, because it concerns me that they decided on those changes in the first place, but I'm also happy to see that they have backtracked on those changes after they've seen people's reactions. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword in terms of like that they thought that was a good idea in the first place, but at least they've recognized the feedback. Milka, when did I start drawing? Drawing... I used to draw as a kid. And then I grew up in a household that was very anti-drawing. So I kind of drifted away from it eventually. I drifted away from it, but I used to draw loads as a kid. I used to love drawing. I used to love drawing mechs. My big favorite thing to draw was mechs when I was a kid. And then yeah, it was very much a this is not a path in life. So I eventually drifted away from it, and to other things. And then I came back to drawing. I got back into drawing kind of in my early 30s, but that was still physical, so drawing in sketchbooks and stuff. And then digital stuff kind of came more mid 30s, and then really putting a lot of time into it probably the last 4 years. For the last 4 years. So not entirely, not quite at the start of COVID. But not long after. Essentially, because when I started streaming, I was just streaming gaming originally. And then I kind of thought, you know what, I want to get back into my artwork again. When I started streaming, and I was like, I'm going to test and see if people are interested in me streaming artwork. And that's when I kind of properly started getting into it. So probably about 4 years that I've been really trying to do it regularly and improve. Doc, they were talking about adding more activities and allowing people maybe to turn in after it's been completed. It doesn't change the fact that yeah, I completely agree with that. Yeah, like it comes back to my earlier comment of I was holding judgment to see. I was holding judgment to see what they were going to do with the seasonal stuff, because I was kind of under the impression for the seasonal stuff that there would be PvE content. You know, I thought there'd be new storylines. I thought that's what the whole point, and I'm a little bit concerned for the seasonal content now, because when that comes along, eventually, if we're still playing this game by the time the seasonal content comes along, and I was kind of like, I'm reserving judgment until that comes out and I see what they do for PvE players when that comes along. And then just saying that they were like, no, the plan for PvE players going forward is the Landsrat. It's like, the Landsrat's fine if you've got a bunch of spare stuff, but to make that your entire existence, no. It's not gonna fly. I'm trying to remember what the name of the guy is, and I feel really bad because he's a really big streamer. Is it Cone? Cohn? Is it pronounced Cone? Is that how you pronounce his name? I saw him like talking about it. Oh no, it wasn't him actually. No, it was someone else. It was someone else who was talking about it, but they were just like, so basically all PvE players have got to look through for end game is just fetch quests. Never-ending fetch quests. It was like, saying it like that definitely does not sound good. Give me you. Hello, Max. How you doing? Yana, enjoy your lurkings. Max, you just woke up. Holy moly. Were you awake rather late, Max? Were you out partying on a school night? Milka, is this all from your imagination or a game? So this is based off of a game called June Awakening that came out at the start of this month. I'm not. I had a very initial reference picture for this, which was kind of meant to be like the game art. Well, not meant to be. I'm not really drawing it like the game art, but in terms of, so we kind of like, I had that, and then yeah, I've kind of changed it round to however, but beyond that, I've not really used much in the way of references, except for I just want it to be vaguely laid out like that. But yeah, it's definitely inspired. I'm trying to do as much of this from what I remember of the game in my brain, which does mean that a whole bunch of it does not look correct. I have no doubt anyone who is familiar with the game will look at this and go, that's not what the ornithopters look like, that's not what a base looks like. So yeah, there's definitely bits that are wrong. Well, that's okay. Just makes it a bit more mine, doesn't it, if there's bits that are wrong. Milka, you ask so many questions, it's fine. It's fine. It's like I always say to, you know, kind of like, I've had quite a few people in the past, Milka, who've kind of gone, I asked too many questions, I'm sorry, I'm asking. I'm like, makes my life way easier. If you are asking questions, that means I don't need to think of things to say to, you know, I can just answer people's questions. So never feel like you can't ask questions. As long as your questions are legal and not going to get me in trouble, which with the streaming platforms. Ask any questions you want. The worst case, I'll just say I can't answer that question. Doc, going to be happy with one of the crash schemes this week. Okay. Oh, the drill shot's available this week. Nice. Nice. I might be... do you know what, Doc? I might be tempted just to kind of stockpile a load of them. I think. If that's the case. So yeah, I might try and get into... might try and get into Deep Desert a bit more this week. In fact, that kind of encourages me to get all the storyline wrapped up so I can just do a bit more farming. Where did I put this base? Is it you? Are you the problem? Oh, you are the problem. Okay. Grab that. Ooh, wait, I know what I could do. I know what I could do. This doesn't exist. This doesn't exist in the game, but it will be in keeping with the game. I'm going to put a little bit of a Atreides... Try and get a bit of an Atreides looking keystone? Capstone? Whatever it is. Try and get something like that over the top. Which I think is going to need a bit more. Works enough. It works enough for me to leave it there. Put it that way. like that. Okay. Did Twitch chat get bigger? I think that's all dependent on your screen. Are you just zooming in, Max? Are you a bit bleary-eyed, so you've just hit the zoom function? Currently, right now, Max is just reading just single letters as they go past. He's like, I wish I'd had more sleep. He's actually about this far from the screen. Also, another one is the Mark 6 Scout Thruster. Okay, so it sounds like it's worth us just trying to farm DD for blueprints, if nothing else, this week. Then that's cool. I mean, I do love going after crashed spaceships, so that falls nicely into my wheelhouse. What time are we on? Oh, okay. So we've got Arting's Artings for at least another 40-ish minutes, and then just because we've got a few new people, what I tend to do is go grab some food for about 15-20 minutes, and then we switch over to a bit of gaming, which at the moment is Dune Awakening. But we've still got time. There's still more arting to come. You don't need to run away just yet. We've definitely made progress on this today, so that's I'm pleased. I'm pleased with the amount of progress I've managed to just chuck out of this. Especially with this, I'm happy. I'm happy with how this is looking. It's not the original design I wanted to do, but it's definitely something that's usable. We'll go with usable. I realise I got rid of some of this, but it's alright. We can get back that easy enough. Nowhere near as long a shadow as I thought it was going to be. And then if I just do that to show that peeking out, there we go. Hello, Jayu. Hello, hello. You're off work sick today. Well, that sucks that you're sick, but I'm glad the music is helping. This is for anyone who's not familiar, this is the Timberborn soundtrack, which for some weird reason is the only music I can get working this morning. I don't know, whenever I was trying to play anything else, it was stopping after one track. So, fortunately, it's good music. However, I am still going to try and get the Dune soundtrack playing later, because I feel like this might be a little bit weird to have playing during Dune. I think it might lessen the epic impact of Dune if this is playing. You know, the worm breaching out of the sand, I don't think will quite be as impactful if we've got this jolly music going on. Ooh, hello, Dan. How you doing? Hello, Jaeger. Diggy hole, diggy hole. Diggy hole. Indeed. I am a dwarf fan of digging a hole. Diggy hole. Diggy hole. Gimme. Diggy Hole. You love Diggy Hole. I think do you know, I'm always curious though, with the amount of people who know of Diggy Hole, how many people love Diggy Hole because of oh, is it Windrose? Is it Windrose who do like a metal version of Diggy Hole? And how many love Diggy Hole because of Simon? I wonder if that's almost like an indication of people's time on the internet, depending on where they know it from. You like the normal one? I'm going to presume the normal one is the Simon one. Because the definition of normal may vary across the internet. And Yana, you prefer the original. Try and break up these shapes a bit just so they don't look as flat. A bit more weathered is what I want them to look like. There we go, that'll do. That'll do. Now, what I do need to do here, though, is we need some shadow, don't we? Because I'm imagining there's probably another one of these over on this side. So, we're saying the sun's coming down this way. There's probably... wait, let's put that... If I put that there, it kind of works. Which... we'll do like that. And we'll tidy up the top a bit. Right. Bit tricky doing a shadow when there's no... when you've not got the thing casting the shadow, it's a bit weird. Oh, maybe if I put it more at an angle, more like that, then it looks like it's definitely not part of this shape. Do that. Do something along those lines. Okay. I'm tempted to put... oh no, I was actually going to put something here though. Because these things have... the Atreides building set has a bit of a roof thing going on, so I'm going to put the roof on. Which one's going to go here? A bit too bright for what I want it to be. While I can see it, I need to... Put it behind that for a second. Windy outside. You like the heavy metal, but for Diggy Diggy Hole. I enjoy them both, but I think it very much depends on my mood, which one I enjoy at the time. I do love that Diggy Diggy Hole introduced me to a whole new metal band though. I'm a fan. Like I don't think I would probably have never heard of them if it hadn't been for Diggy Diggy Hole. But yes, the original, when I used to watch, God, it's going back. I don't, you know, I almost don't want to think about how long ago it is since I used to watch Yogcast. I feel like that's just going to reinforce how long I've been on the internet, and I don't know if I want that reinforcing right now. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. I'll just accept it was a long time ago. this. The only problem I have now is I wished to have these up on the top as well. Let's try and do that a bit better. Oh wait, actually, yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Hello Ash, how you doing? We talk about Windrose. Oh, you see, Ash. Okay, so Ash is a Windrose diggy hole, rather than a Yogscast diggy hole. I see. I see. It's very telling. It's very telling. It's been noted. It's been noted. Yana Bibro, the German Bibro introduced you to Yogscast. Ah, okay. Ash, first time you heard Yogcast was today in this chat. Okay, so yeah, so Diggy Hole was, it's I suppose it's essentially it's a Minecraft term. And there was a guy called Simon who used to do Yogcast, though I know he stepped away because it all, I think, kind of like it all just became a bit too much for him. You know, because because it was kind of like back in the day where not everyone was, you know, not everyone really expected to like get super famous via YouTube, and so yeah, he eventually stepped away, but he was obsessed with being a dwarf in Minecraft, and he was the one who started running around Minecraft going, I diggy hole, I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Just like that. Doc, from a late period of that... No. The Yogscast... The Yogscast was definitely not a late period of the 1900s. It better not be, anyway. But if I find out that that was the late 1900s, I'll be a little bit horrified and it'll break me. Are you just referencing me from the late 1900s? Okay. Thanks. Thanks, buddy. Oh, well, grabbed the wrong bit of the page. M6 focused buddy... Bleh. MK6 focused buggy mining laser for the third. Still don't know the fourth. Ah, that's cool. Yeah, it definitely sounds like it's a good time to spend some time in Deep Desert then. Doing the farmings. Oh, why does this not work? Okay. Well, that top half has come along quite nicely. These guys could just... I mean, I'm working on the base of... I'm going to work a little bit on the base of people not zooming into this image. So I'm probably not going to do any more with this guy, although he probably could do with some shadows. But for the sake of getting this thing done, I might just Just forget. Just forget. What I would like to do, because on the... I did want to put another bit of detail on this thing. Because when I make these, I do have a bit, and this might resolve that other issue I was having before. Like there's a building piece that's kind of like, looks like it's got like electronics on it on the bottom of it. So I'm thinking, the only thing is, I think it, no, I can fix it with this. I just don't know if I can get this in the details in that I want to get in, because it's all in shadow. So we're kind of just in a position where we have to keep going darker. And this might still be too light. I need to break up that shape a bit more. I'll probably do it with some cross pieces to break that up a bit. But that's probably going to be it for today. So now that we've done about nearly just shy of 3 hours of artwork, I'll hit save. It's fine. It's all good. It's all good. I'll hit save now. Right. I will be about 15-20 minutes. I'll be about 15-20 minutes. I'm going to go shove a wrap down me gullet, which I think will have some roast pork on it. Yes. Lovely. After 3 hours. Yep. There we go. We can get rid of that. Oh, and weirdly, today